It's the grandson of right thought. Let's talk about the wiles and the tricks and snares of Satan, the enemy. What he does is he observes you and he watches you. Remember, you got one eye up, one eye down. You see? One eye going to the pit, the bottomless pit, the pit that can never be filled. One of your eyes is looking at that and desiring the things of the bottomless pit. Things of the bottomless pit like riches, like fornication, like reveling and partying. You see? Those things have no feel. It's not like you are married and you commit adultery one time and you're satisfied. It's not the way it works. It's a snare of Satan. It's a trick. It's a trap. Like I said, he observes you and watches your desires. And when he sees that you have an unclean desire, he will set a snare for you. And believe me, he will set that snare for you. There's nobody in this world that is exempt. We're all walking a path. As the elect, we're walking the narrow path. And on that path, Satan tries to set snares. He tries to set tricks. Abba uses this to chasten you and to make you pure-hearted and make your eyes single looking at him so his snares have no power over you. You don't go for what's inside of that rope or that snare because you have no eye set on it, you see. Your eyes are both up, so you don't even see the morsel or the allurement, in other words, that he has set in your pathway because he will set it there. If you are a married man and yet there is lust in your heart, well, he will use that. He will set a snare for you on your pathway, my brother. A woman that will want you, desire you, and lust for you the same way you lust for her will come on your path, and that lust for you will draw you in and cause you to be flipped upside down. You won't be able to pull yourself out of that desire that that adulterous woman has for you. It will become a drug to you, and you will take a hit of it, and it will give you a high, but yet it will be killing you. That's why it's silly of us to judge each other for their shortcoming, because your shortcoming is no different in the eyes of the Most High Yah. It's all the same. When you cheated and you took that hit, is what it was that you needed. That's why you cheated. The hit was what you needed, so you cheated. Same thing when you took the heroin shot in your veins. So the drug addict and the adulterer are doing the same thing. You see? That's why they can't judge each other. Can't throw stones at each other. They both got to admit they're guilty. See? Now, once you fall for the allurement, whatever it is, like I just described to you, it's all the same. It's a bottomless pit. The heroin addict has a bottomless pit. So does the sex addict have a bottomless pit. The lustful person have a bottomless pit. The glutton have a bottomless pit. The pride of life have a bottomless pit. See all the seven deadly sins, but the last of those seven deadly sins to be destroyed is death, lust. See, because they all come from lust. They're all children of lust. You see it? That's where they all spring from. They all spring out of that distorted red chakra. That's why I told you, if you be led by red, you're going to end up dead. Ain't that what I said? That's why I'm telling y'all that. Because he the one that set the snare. Told you. He wanna send a signal to your heart chakra. And once your heart chakra accepts it, which means turns from green, starts blinking red, he'll send a snare in your way. You're double minded now. You're red, green, 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 red, green. That's the way your heart chakra is blinking. Uh-oh. See, the same sin. The first shall be last. The same sin from the beginning gonna be the last sin. What was the sin that brought death? Lust. It was lust. A desire for something that you weren't supposed to have. Lusting. So then lusting will be the last thing to be destroyed, like I told y'all. Because lust is the bottomless pit. It can't be filled. You cannot fill lust up. You can't. You are feeding a beast that will continue to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow until it kills you. Just like when you have cancer in the body, and instead of just doing the thing that would naturally heal you, which is starve the cancer, the thing that you put in to start it, see, the first, is the thing you're going to have to starve last in order to kill it. So cancer feed on sugars and shit, and glucose and shit like that. So then starve your body of that. So simple. Then the thing it's eating, which is feeding it and causing it to grow, will be starved, and it will die. Instead of doing that, you start doing all this other shit to try to kill it unnaturally. So why did I tell you that? I told you that to show you that that is what you're doing when you're hanging upside down in the snare. You're not doing the thing that will set you free. You need to do the thing that will set you free, which is reach out onto the garment of Yahusha. Remember the woman that had the issue of blood and she gave all her money to physicians and couldn't be healed? That's you hanging in the snare. You tried every other outlet to get healed of your hanging upside down in that snare, and you couldn't still get out of it. You paid all kind of people that told you that they could cut you down and get the rope off and everything, and they still couldn't get it off, could they? All these so-called experts, doctors, psychiatrists, and all this shit, they couldn't get the rope off you, could they? Because there's only one way to get it off. You got to call for he who saves. Psychiatrists can't save you from that kind of snare. You see that? Your mom and dad can't save you from that snare. Your physicians can't save you from that snare. There's only one who can save you from that snare. It's he who saves. And that is the only reason you little birdies are still hanging in your snare, about to be roasted up like rotisserie in the fire, if you don't get out that snare and fly back to your father's bosom where you belong. There's only will be salvation in the Holy of Holies of the temple of the Most High Yah. If you're not in the Holy of Holies, then your ass will be doomed. And he has already stated that he's closed his door. So when a person is closing a door, there's only a short amount of time before it goes kabloom, right? It'll go, well, we're in that stage right now where it's about to go kabloom. See that? And seal off. And when the fire come, the birdies that's still hanging in the snares, they're going to turn to rotisserie little chickens, see? Like KFC. That's what it says. Their flesh shall consume away as they stand. Their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Their eyes shall consume away in the sockets. You want to be a part of that? Well, the only way you get out is coming into the Holy of Holies. And so the only way you get out of that snare, whatever has you held, and you know what it was. See, everybody has some kind of generational curse that's on them. I want y'all to pay attention to this. Noah was perfect in his generations. That's what the Bible says. I want y'all to understand this. Noah was perfect in his generations, in his bloodline. So he was preserved. I want y'all to hear that. Your bloodlines have become tainted and distorted. You must become perfect in your bloodline again. And the only way you can become perfect in your bloodline is to be washed in the blood of the Lamb. The only way you can be washed in the blood of the Lamb is confess while you're hanging by that damn rope. Stop blaming anyone for hanging there. Confess openly to the Master with your mouth while you're hanging there. Anyone who's listening to me that is held down in a snare, flipped upside down, hanging right now, and you know if you are or not, confess it to your Father that it is your fault you're hanging there. Don't blame me for it. Don't blame your mom. Don't blame the world. Don't blame the evil. Don't blame anything else. Your little wings carried you over there to that vanity, and that's why you're flipped. That's why you're upside down. That's why you have no hope. That's why you're afraid. That's why you're living in fear. That's why you're saying words like, I'm gonna die. I'm dying. I'm so afraid. I hear it. I've heard it. And I continue to hear it on a daily basis. People knowingly walking straight into the grave, held down, depressed, drinking themselves away. Talked to a woman yesterday, said her husband died of cirrhosis of the liver. I have 2 uncles died of cirrhosis of the liver. A 3rd uncle just passed away, cirrhosis of the liver. A 4th uncle on his way out, cirrhosis of the liver. Okay, that's 5 men of my own nation, 4 of which are on my own damn family, that have all succumbed to the same thing, drinking themselves away. And the woman I was talking to, she's doing the same thing. And she was basically shedding tears, sitting next to me, saying, my daughter, guess what she said to me? I said, what? She said, Mama, she showed me a picture of my husband, is what this lady said. She said, my daughter showed me a picture of her dad, in other words, and him dying, basically in the hospital. And she said, Ma, you next. That hurt me so bad when she said that. Why would she say that to me? While she has a Hennessy bottle in her hand, taking swigs out of it right in front of me. Talking about she's just been told by her doctor that she's fighting cancer, that she's dying. She has a pack of Newports in her hand, smoking cigarettes as well. And then she said, do you ever feel like you want to just blow your head off? You ever had thoughts of suicide? You see, her thoughts are all wrong and distorted. You ever think about killing yourself? When she departed from me, the last thing she said was, I'm just going to walk over here and sit on my porch and blow my head off. That's what I want to do. If I had a gun, that's what I'd do. I said, why you feel like that? She said, because I'm so depressed. See, while I was talking to her, there was a white family, a father, about 3 or 4 children, and a woman pushing a stroller. 2 or 3 of the kids were running around through some flowers on the corner. And she just looked at me. She says, why do these white people look like, why do white people always seem so free? Why is this? So you listen to all these things this woman is saying to me. She says, when our time gonna come? You listening to this, y'all? Of course, this is obviously the Hebrew woman I'm talking about here. See? See the thoughts that she's having? The world sucks so bad, I just want to die. I'm so depressed and so sad. And why did other people, these Europeans, seem to be living such free life and a happy life? Have y'all listened to the Grandson of Right Thought messages? Then you know, lady. If you listen to me, but you ain't willing to listen. You want to blame everybody for your circumstances still. You don't want to take responsibility. Her husband's died of cirrhosis. She also found out he had AIDS. And she told me about how paranoid she was going, because all of her children are by this man. She said how paranoid she was going to the doctors checking to see if she had it. And they said she didn't have it. And she's talking about how paranoid and scared she was that she had it because he had it. He died. Y'all hear this shit? Husband died cirrhosis of the liver, got AIDS. So you see people caught in their snares and couldn't get out? Can't get out, can't figure it out when all is confession. That's all it is. I let the devil trick me. I let the deceiver deceive me. And I confess my faults here and now. And I know I can't get out of this trap I'm in. This quicksand is sucking me down. And I know I can't get out unless he who saves come save me. So I'm going to cry unto you, he who saves, for your grace and your mercy. If you don't give it to me, I understand. Because I don't deserve it. I know I don't. I deserve to die. I deserve to stay here until the fire come and turn me into a rotisserie chicken. With the smoke coming off. With Colonel Sanders standing behind me and shit with some mashed potatoes and a biscuit. I know that. But guess what? You are gracious and full of tender mercy, your word says. And so I fall upon those words right now. I cast myself upon that quality of you, Father. Your tender mercies and your loving kindness. I give myself into that bosom of truth. And I cast everything else away as vanity. For it is truly vanity, Father. Anything except being in your bosom is vanity. Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani is the worst place that we could ever be. It was truly spoken by our Master. Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. It was truly spoken by our Master, because that is the only place that would cause us to be in fear, is to be separated from you, Father. So while I hang in this snare, I am truly separated from the truth. But I seek to be in the bosom of truth always. So free me, Father, and I shall be set free by the truth, just as it is written. So justify your word in my life, and I will believe you forevermore, because I will know it's true. You delivered me from this snare, Father. There's no way I could have delivered myself. So I will sing your praises, and I will bear testimony to this world, and I will tell them of your wondrous grace and tender mercy that you showed to your servant, who was lowly and lost, and in ignorance had no knowledge of his circumstances, and therefore he was destroyed. But in your tender grace and your loving mercies that go beyond the mind of men, you raised me up, and you washed me clean, and you held me in your bosom, and you said, I forgive you. And as far from the east to the west, I have delivered you from your sins. I have cast them behind me, and I will never look upon them again, and I don't remember them. So you don't remember them anymore, for you're sinning if you do, because I don't look back. So you keep your eyes on the prize, and you stay focused on me, and keep your eyes up, and keep your eyes single, and make them single upon me, the truth. For it is he who delivers you, is it not? The wiles of the devil have no power over those who keep their eyes up. The snare lays on the ground. It lays on the ground. And it is wrapped around something called vanity. So there's no need for you to wander yourself over there looking, touching, tasting. What does the scripture says? Touch not, taste not, handle not. Do y'all feel that truth or not? Do you feel it? Whatever's out there in the 3D, touch not, taste not, handle not. Do you hear me? For it is vanity, and it will cause you to vanish, like I told you. But he says, I come that you may have life, have it more abundantly, and he who keep my word shall have everlasting life. Everlasting life. He didn't lie to me, so I believe him. He ain't lied to me about nothing else. He set me free from the trap. So therefore, I belong to him. Nah, I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm like the little puppy that was in the gutter, was homeless and poor and shit. Did nobody see me? And Yahusha picked me up and he gave me some food and rubbed on me and made me warm and feel safe and he loved me. And he went to walk away. You're not leaving me. I'm gonna stay on your heel. I just kept barking and kept nipping and kept running after him, and he just said, "Okay, come on." Then come on with me then. And I'm not leaving his side. Why would I leave the one who saved me? Why? Why would I do that? What if I need to be saved again? Okay, then. I'm going to stay here. I will perpetually be saved. See, because his name is I am saving. So I will perpetually be saved if I stay with I am saving. I'll never be in peril. I'll never be in fear. I'll never be ashamed. I'll never be lost. I'll never be down. I'll never be depressed. I'll never be alone. I'll never be, I'll never be, and I'll never be. Whatever words y'all want to put after that shit, that is vanity. Okay? But I will always be safe. I am safe. If I am safe, then how could I not be? If I am healthy, then how could I not be ever? If I am, then how could I ever not be if I am? You're upside down, you're going, am I? Can y'all hear the grandson talking to y'all or what? When you're upside down, you're going, am I? With a question mark. Well, as long as the devil see you going, am I? He gonna throw shit at you because you don't know who the hell you is. And if you don't know who you is, you can't act right. That's simple. That's simple. Anything that doesn't know what it is, it can't do what it's designed to do. Y'all should understand this simple truth. It's ABC 1, 2, 3 at this point. Plain. But when the thing knows what it is, it knows what it's designed to do, he will start to act in accordance with it. You say, okay, you're a football player, son. Don't you know I was a football player? Your grandfather was a football player. You're going to follow in suit. Well, the son accepts that. So as he's growing, he has an advantage because he knows exactly what he's meant to do in life. So he's working out the right nutrition. He's going to the right workout. By the time he's 16, 17, 18, he has a good advantage over the other 16, 17-year-old that's just playing football in school because he wants to. He's not going to be a football player. He's just doing that because he wants to play football. This other guy going to have an advantage. He's going to be in much better shape. He's going to have much better fundamentals because he's been prepared for what he is, because he knows what he is. But a person that's going through school going, I don't know what I want to be, but he plays on the football team, but he's going, I don't really know what I want to be. He's eating cheeseburgers. He's not working out like he's supposed to be. He's not making it his life purpose and life goal. So he's not going to be as efficient and as good and as focused because he doesn't know that's what he wants to do. It's anything. I don't care if it's science, engineering, if it's fucking manufacturing, agriculture. I don't care which field you go into. If you know that's what you are, then you have an advantage. Well, it's the same thing with this. If you don't know I am, then you're going am I. And if you're going am I, then you can be tricked and deceived. Can't you? This is what you're supposed to do. This is what you're supposed to look like. Am I? This is what you're supposed to talk like. Am I? I'm going, I am. So therefore, you can't tell me what I'm supposed to do from your vantage point or your viewpoint or your opinion or whatever vanity point. In other words, because I've already established it. You want to know how I talk? I talk pure truth with no lying in it, with no deceit. I don't trick nobody when I talk to them. I am straight telling you the truth when I talk. That's who I am. See how I just decided? Now, when you say, well, why don't you try to throw some deceit in there? That's not who I am. So, error, wrong, block ya. That's the way it works. Sorry, buddy, it ain't going to work over here. I've established it on a solid rock of foundation. So, you can't thwart it, twist it, change it, alter it, Nothing. Now, my master told me if I become this rock like I am, see, I'm a rock now, I can't be moved. See? He said, on this rock I shall build my bride. See, church, bride. Truth. So once he does this, he says this rock will grind everything to powder. Every man that this rock falls on will be ground to powder. That's what he said. So whatever you thought you were before the truth hit you is washed away. The old is done away with and the new is standing before you now. So sometimes it's weird when y'all hear me talk because y'all are old still and y'all are hearing a new man speak. And so the new man is speaking of things that you have no faith enough to believe a lot of times. And y'all wave your hand and get mad and scoff and say the nigga crazy. That's all it means. I've been converted already. So I'm talking to people who need to be converted a lot of times. And so they don't actually know a lot of times what I'm talking about. Because they ain't converted already. See? So they still be like, wait a minute. You're talking as Christ. So that's not the way it works. That's not the way the truth operates. See, they haven't come into it, so they're afraid still. It's just fear. That's all it is. I be doing shit that a lot of y'all so-called believers is scared as hell to do. And I know it too. See, because Abedin already told it to me, because I used to be scared to do it. See, that's how I know. I don't have to look for nothing to understand your mind other than my mind. I know how tricky and deceitful and sinister I was when I was upside down. So I know how you sinister, flipped upside down niggas think. Because I know how I was thinking. And I am. So then when I got flipped upright, then I know how them niggas think. So I'm able to decipher who's really upright and who ain't. So when people look at me, they say, well, hold on a minute. He's upside down. Because look how he was talking. Look at the word choices that he uses. He can't be righteous. He's upside down. But then they say, but did he lie? Well, no. Well, wouldn't he be lying if he was upside down? Well, yes. So then only people that are right side up tell the truth, right? Yes. So then he's not lying. He's telling you the truth, right? Yes. So then he's upright. Yes. So then he just proved to you that that way of talking they told you was bad. Obviously it isn't. Is it? Well, obviously no, because he's upright. So then he's proving it to you by using the language to set you free from the bondage of feeling like you got to speak a certain way to tell people the truth. No, you don't. You just tell them the truth. Abba's proving that through me and how I talk to y'all. He wants y'all to be free from that. He wants to set you free from every bondage, every chain that holds you down from being I am, to expressing yourself in truth, who he created you to be. He put you in a world that's completely opposite of you, and you think you ain't going to be abstractly different? You are. That's the point. So that you can crush all the lies of the devil when he try to lie to you and shit. Oh, you're wicked because you said fuck. Look at you. You keep falling short of God. Look at you. You're just a sinner. That's what he uses. Bullshit. You be like, nigga, lies are what God hates. You dumb fuck. See how I can just talk to the nigga? You dumb fucking stupid son of a bitch motherfucking hoe. Get away from me with your wicked fucking tongue, bitch. Get the fuck away from me because I will stomp on your fucking head every single time. How many times you want your head crushed? Because I'm the crushing man. I'm the crushing man. I will crush your shit to powder just like he told me I would. I fully believe it. I don't have fear. Fuck fear. Fear is a non-existent thing. Love is all that exists. And love and zeal for my people, my bride, my love, my children, my king, my Messiah, my father. I will crush your fucking head every fucking time you come around. Period. I will protect my house to the fullest extent. So y'all can be deceived today if you want to. The grandson ain't being deceived. You see? And that's what happens when you get upright. You get brave. You put off folly. You put off corruption and you put on the incorruption of I am. Because guess what I'm about to tell y'all that don't know this yet. I know some of y'all do, so I ain't talking to y'all. I'm talking to the ones that don't know. If I say I am I dead? Checkmate! See how easy I win? So that's the God I serve. What's the name of your God? What's his name? You tell me. Because any God that you come up with that's different than the name I just gave you, I will crush his ass to smithereens. I will smash him to fucking powder because he's vanity. Throw your curses at me and see if they come to anything. Go ahead, witches. You fucking warlocks and witches and wizards. Throw all the hexes you can throw at the grandson of right thought and watch them all fall by the fucking wayside, and I trample them under my feet like ashes, you dumbass bitches. Throw it at me so I can prove God's power in this land. I'm tired of y'all not being able to acknowledge my father, so I will show his power in this land. Throw it at me. Throw anything that you want. Say any curse you can try to come up with and watch it fall by the wayside. Because Abba Yah already told me the truth. If you try to curse me, your ass gonna be cursed. And he also said there is no curse against Israel. Balaam already tried to tell y'all that, and the dumb donkey was able to speak to that man in his folly and say, hey, don't you know what you're doing? You're trying to curse God's anointed. You're gonna get fucked up if you do that. So at least he listened. But y'all gonna go in the way of Balaam too, huh? Y'all gonna try to curse me? Well, try to throw it at me if you can and see if it stick, bitches. I have a mini coat of protection, a mini coat of colors of protection around my body. So what are you going to do? I don't have the body of death anymore. I have the body of light. I have put off the corruption and put on the incorruption. Yashana. Yashana in the highest. I have put on incorruption. So what are you going to say? What can you say to me? What can you do to me? What can you do to me? For I stand in the presence of the Holy of Holies. Lahama tahima. Hua lahama tahima. Hua yah wa. Yahye, Yahwa, Yahye, Hwa, Ptatikwa, Ptatikwa, Kinakwa, ke Mishnakwa, ka, Himaina, Lahmata Hima, Kinakwa, ke, Mishnuaka, Lahmata Hima, Lahma, Yahye, Yahwa. Hwa, Yah, the highest, in the highest, in the highest. Love your neighbor as your brother and your sister. Don't love them as foreigners. Love them as one with yourself. Love your father with all your heart, your soul, and your might. Love your neighbor as yourself. Be compassionate. Be merciful and tender, for your father are these things, or you would not be standing today if he were not. Judge righteous judgment today and be honorable men and women today and stand upright. Claim your throne because it's the time to claim it. This is the time to claim it right now. If you've ever felt weak, now is the time to say, I am strong and mighty. Now is the time to proclaim his name in these last days. For now you know it, and you've been set free by the power and the word of the Most High Yah. All praise to you, Father Abba Yah in the highest, and to your Son, Yahushua the Lamb. Salawam Israel.